Ready? So I'd like to call together the agenda of the special meeting of Board of Directors for Affordable Housing, Inc., an affiliate of the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority, on today, Thursday, August 21st, 2025. Madam Clerk, take the roll.
President Louis Jordan.
Here.
Secretary Tick Cedarblue. Here. Treasurer Fred Herring. Director Larry Blackman.
Commissioner Blackman here.
Director Melissa Brown.
Present.
Director Nancy Brody. Director Richard Churchio. Director Kerry Cox. Director Michael Disman. Director William McCurdy. Director Luciana Turner.
Present.
A quorum is present. This meeting has been properly noticed, and we are in compliance with the Nevada Open Meeting Law.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Been motioned? Been motioned and second? All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Public comment. Public comment during this section of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, come to the podium, give your name for the record, the amount of discussion, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. Is there any public comment on items on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. Item 4, approval of AHP authorization of the Executive Director or the Chief Administrative Officer to sign all required documents to pay off Ernie Cragen Limited Partnership loan held by Clearinghouse Community Development Financial Institution. Its estimated amount of the loan is $2.9 million using non-federal funds. I'll turn it over to Chief Administrative Officer Fred Herring.
Good afternoon, directors. Juan Garcia, or Ernie Cragen is the LLC name, but the property name is Juan Garcia, which is located around 28th and Sunrise. It's a 56-unit property that's owned by the Housing Authority as well as CDPCN. They have a loan that's becoming due this September 1. My initial thoughts was to have our current bank refinance the loan, but after further consideration, we decided that we would be the loan holder of this loan and pay off the loan. Finance the loan is, I think the total amount is, like as Mr. Jordan stated, it was $2.9 million, and they're carrying about a 6.5% interest rate. This loan would generate about $191,000 annually to the Housing Authority to go toward our non-federal program to assist any endeavors that we need to do. So we recommended that the board allow us to sign this loan, to pay off the loan with our non-federal funds, and also carry the note for this property as well.
Can I ask a question? So when you say non-federal money, what's this money we're using to pay it off, and could we use it for something else?
Can we use the money that we're going to pay the loan off for something else? The non-federal money is our developer fees that we earn.
Okay, but if we didn't use this money, the $3 million to pay off the loan, what would we would be using the money for?
It'd be sitting in the bank until we decide what we want to use it for. We generally use it for tax credit deals, as funding for other deals that we do. But whatever we can use for any source that we want to use it for.
So, Mr. Jordan, why is it good to pay off the loan as opposed to save the $3 million for something else?
So the loan has come due. The thought process, and Fred, you can help. The thought process is for us to gain the interest from the loan ourselves versus a bank to have it refinanced. Is that correct, Fred?
Correct. We would generate about $190,000 a year in the interest income for the Housing Authority that we can use to do anything else that we want to do with it. So right now, I think the money we've earned on the money we have in the bank is less than what we currently earn if we finance this loan.
How much money total do we have in that bank account?
Currently in the developer fee, we have about $8.5 million.
Okay. And Mr. Jordan, do you feel this is the best way to spend the money?
At this point, yes, considering that we would either go out to re-borrow money from a bank and have to pay them the interest, we're in a position cash-wise that we can pay it ourselves, and then we can accrue the interest on our own money.
And at any time that we feel that we don't want to be the lien holder of this loan, we can have it refinanced and get our $2.9 million back at any time.
All right, thank you. All right, I'd make a motion to approve. Do we have to do a second public hearing?
We have to do after we've concluded this, yes.
All right, I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any other citizen participation on items that are not on the agenda? Seeing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you. That's fine, sure.
All right, so ready for the regular meeting?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'd call the regular meeting to order and say the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Chairperson Tick Seegerbloom,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Nancy Bruni, Commissioner Larry Blackman, Commissioner Marissa Brown,
Present.
Commissioner Richard Churchio, Commissioner Carrie Cox, Commissioner Michael Disman, Commissioner William McCurdy, Commissioner Luciana Turner. Present. A quorum is present. This meeting has been properly noticed, and we are in compliance with the Nevada open meeting law.
And let the reflected that Commissioner Bruni and Churchio were on the previous phone call, so they may be out there somewhere.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll show up.
Was she muted?
All right, Mr.
Do we
Jordan.
need to confirm? Commissioner Bruni? And Commissioner Churchio?
All right. All right, is there a motion to approve the agenda? Or the minutes, I guess, first?
Public comment?
Oh, public comment, all right. First period for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak on an item on the agenda, feel free to come forward now. If not, we'll close the period of public comment and turn it over to Mr. Jordan. Maybe I won't turn it over to Mr. Jordan. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
Move approval.
There's a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion to second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. All right, there's an a motion to approve the agenda.
Move approval.
There's a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
You got to move, motion and second it too?
Oh, second.
The motion's been approved, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? All right, that motion passes. All right, now, Mr. Jordan.
Very good. Just since we last met, a few things I'd like to highlight. This is Raider Camp. How many folks did we have go out? 46. We're really just continuing to develop our relationship with the Las Vegas Raiders. They invited 46 of our families to come out for their training day camp. As you all remember, last meeting we received a $15,000 grant from them, so I'm just excited. And I also wanted to give a special shout out, not only to the residents, but to the staff that volunteers to go and participate in these activities. Next slide. This was an event that we participated with the local NAACP. It was a fundraiser for dodgeball. We put 2 teams in. Didn't make the Final Four, but we did well. More importantly, it was just the collaboration and the camaraderie. We talk about our 4 pillars, one being a well-informed and educated work group, this is a part of that education, just having folks come together on a Saturday afternoon and have fun for a good cause. Matt Kelly Day, wanted to recognize Commissioner McCurdy. That's something that he's intimately involved in. I'm not sure how long it's gone on, but it's gone on for a while. And, we have young kids and parents alike from Matt Kelly, a number of vendors who come out, give away different items, backpacks, things of that nature. And so we think it's important that we show the community that we're involved, not just in providing housing, but in building community. Next slide will speak to, thank you all who made it. It was outstanding. The Senator Joe Neal groundbreaking, and in your bags, you have your commemorative shovel that speaks to the groundbreaking. And so again, a lot of groundbreakings, and know what follows groundbreakings are ribbon cutting. So we'll get you some dates out and have you come out and cut ribbons as well. Next slide, please. And this will be Paula, or Sherry and Paula.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have one of our senior coordinators, Sherry Whitman, and she's just going to talk about our CCA grant that benefited the senior residents over the last year.
Good afternoon. I'm Sherry Whitman. I'm one of the senior coordinators at Henry and at Robert Gordon. So the CTA grant is from the Consumer Technology Association, and what their foundation does is they
The goal is to improve the quality of life of seniors and individuals with disabilities through technology. We've used the CTA grant in previous years to get labs, allow them internet access, and things like that. This year, we decided that with the money that we received our goal was to increase their socialization and decrease their isolation that we found impacted them during the COVID years. Some people never came back out of their homes, and so our goal was to get them back out. We found in some of our events that they truly enjoy singing and dancing, so we said, okay, to do that, we decided to purchase karaoke machines for them. And we found that those karaoke machines have truly changed their lives. We had no idea how much joy it was going to bring them. We actually had them out there dancing, singing. We discovered various talents. We actually had one resident who had not sung in 20 years because he used to sing with his sister, and his sister died. And so he hadn't sung in 20 years. He watched us for a couple of times, and then he came out and he told us that this allowed him to start singing again. So this year's CTI grant was very, very impactful. Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe we can have them come and sing before we have our meeting.
Actually, we're trying to get them on Idol.
Okay, great.
That's what we're trying to do.
All right, let's have them come here, start at every meeting, or at least one meeting.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
I got it.
Let's make that happen. Okay. Probably have a guest from the city of Las Vegas.
Okay, the Commissioners, our second guest is Ms. Angela Rouse, and she's from the City of Las Vegas Pre-K, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the program that we have that is currently on site at Marble Manor to assist our families.
Good morning, Chairperson Slicker Bloom and members of the board. Angela Rose, City of Las Vegas. I'm the department manager over Youth Development and Social Initiatives, so I oversee all of our early education and K-12 supports. So happy to be here just to give a little bit of an overview of our areas of work and then some of the work we're doing with the Marble Manor residents. So just a high-level overview of our areas of focus for our department. We do separate our work into 3 different buckets: education, enrichment, and social initiatives. I won't go through every single one of them, but that's just an overview of making sure that we're being responsive to the needs of the community, and in this current climate. This is kind of what our surveys have been telling us. So in education specifically, we oversee all of our early learning, so programs for kids ages 0 to 5. We are excited to be partnering with, co-located with the residents at the Wardell Townhomes, Southern Housing Authority Townhomes over in Wardell. We specifically co-located there because we know that that neighborhood is being revitalized with the library across the street. There's been some infusion in funding for small businesses, and then as well as the townhomes. So happy to be over there. Under enrichment, we do before and after school programs. We have some community school models in our Reinvent Schools Las Vegas programs. Batteries included, Next Gen and Batteries included are a lot of our middle school and high school. So again, just really looking at ways that we can enrich what's already happening in the community. And then under social initiatives, we do have things like Mayor's Faith Initiative, Little Free Libraries, again, just trying to figure out ways to fill those access gaps by things that are already happening in the community. How do we come alongside and make sure that we're partnering? Next slide, please. This is the program we're most excited about that Paula alluded to. So our Strong Start Go mobile pre-K program, we do have 4 locations. They are literally mobile RVs that have been tricked out to make sure that we have high-quality pre-K programs in them. And so we saw a need back in 2017 that a lot of the our lowest income areas did not have access to high-quality preschool. A lot of child care centers had closed through the recession and not reopened. And we were finding that a lot of families were restricted on their choices of where they could take their kids to have access to preschool, and we thought that was a disservice to our community. Each program is a half-day program, so it's only 2.5 hours. We're kind of like that gateway preschool program for families that aren't sure when you should start your child in preschool, what preschool should look like. Again, so we have 15 students in the morning and the afternoon. We do make sure that everybody gets an access to a Chromebook to kind of build that digital divide. We saw quickly, especially during COVID when it exacerbated it, that our families were unable to register for things because they didn't have a Chromebook at home. They weren't able to access services because they didn't have a Chromebook. So making sure that we have those resources for families. 90% of our program participants at our mobile preschool program have never gone to preschool. So we have a lot of undocumented citizens, a lot of immigrants new to the country. We have a lot of residents that never really thought the preschool was an option for them and or important, because when they were younger, they didn't need to go to preschool. They started kindergarten on the first day and they were met where they were at. Kindergarten looks very different today than it did when we were all in school. And so again, just educating families on what that looks like. Our newest program is partnering with Housing Authority. So we have been in the 89106 and 89101 zip codes since 2018. But we found a unique opportunity when we were without a location, reaching out to Lee and Paula and her team, because we knew that the Housing Authority had a captive audience for our residents. Why weren't they all in preschool? A lot of them lived near Matt Kelly, Wendell P. Williams, but they were either on a wait list, they're on a wait list for our Head Start partners, and so we found a unique opportunity to kind of co-locate with some partnerships there. Sherman Gardens was our first property. We were there for 2 years. Again, we served 15 in the morning and 15 in the afternoon, and we found that while not all of our residents were Sherman Garden or Villa Capri residents, they were in the surrounding areas. They were walking, they were zoned for Toland, they were zoned for other schools in the area, and so we found a really unique little community built there. We decided to move over to Marble Manor for this school year, and so we're right off of McWilliams and M Street right now. We have a little unit over there. We opened on Monday, and I'm just really excited to be a service and support for families. Working with Paula and her team, she again really keeps us updated on how many residents they have and making sure that we're reaching out, doing home visits, doing canvassing, having open houses. So really excited about that work. And then next slide. And then just a quick little update for some of our K-12 mayor and council initiatives. We do have a support structure with our council and mayor on making sure that whatever the school district can't provide, we support those gaps. So we did open an elementary school, a charter school, in partnership with a local nonprofit, and that's the first bilingual and biliterate elementary school. It's been in Nevada. We do target families that live in certain wards, and the Marble Manor, the home homes, those families all fit the criteria to fit into that model. And so we're looking at, again, providing outreach to our new charter school. It's supposed to be a 4 or 5-star rated school this year, which would be one of the first in that ward. So very excited to be partnering with that. And then our Reinvent Schools is just providing academic enrichment to 17 local Reinvent schools in the 89106 and 101 zip codes. And just looking at ways to provide the wraparound care that is not able to be provided by the schools anymore, especially with a lot of the funding cuts. So with that, I'll take any questions if there were any. Yes.
For your mobile pre-K, first of all, that is an amazing idea. How do families sign up for something like that?
So we have an online registration portal. I can definitely send out the information to you guys, but what we also have realized is that digital is the way to keep it easier on the administration side, right? So it's easier for us to filter information, collect documents. It's not always easy for families, and so we do have another option that if the digital portal's not working, we can print out paper forms, we can meet them at a location. We have bilingual staff as well to make sure that we're able to communicate in that language, but I can definitely get the link sent out.
Please, thank you.
I want to say thank you for providing such wonderful service for our community. And can I get a copy of the presentation that she brings? If you don't mind?
No, not at all.
Thank you.
No, yeah, and just
I'd like
like
to share those ideas with someone.
Yeah, and as like a community, I've been born and raised here, like my whole life. I have an 11-year-old son that just started middle school. Like, I love this community, and I love the work that you guys do, so thanks for letting me be a part of it. Thank you. Yeah. That's it.
Of the 15 person capacity in the morning and the afternoon, what percentage full are you to that 15 in the morning and the evenings in those locations within A9 106?
So right now we have vacancies at the Historic West Side School location that's co-located next to the Historic West Side Education Training Center. And so we've got 15 spots in the PM and 4 spots in the AM. Our PM is completely open. And then in our Deerfelt location, which is at Lorenzi Park, we have our morning program is full and we have 4 spots in the afternoon. And then for our Marble Manor location, we can have 15 in the afternoon, so our afternoon's completely open. And then we've got 4 spots in the morning.
So it's completely empty in the afternoon for now?
And we do notice, like, that's a good point, we do notice that we're trying to meet families' needs, and the PM can be trickier for families that have to pick up older children at their elementary school programs, and so we always do look at the areas that we're in. If we need to adjust our times to see if our start times are not working, maybe we need to shift from, instead of 1 to 3:30, 12:30 to 3, that way they can get out, pick up their younger kid, and then go to the elementary school.
And for a strong start, being that it's the first bilingual, biliterate school, are you also teaching the children Spanish who want to learn Spanish, or is it just children who are Spanish-speaking to learn English?
Yeah, the ideal model is if you have 50-50 percentage-wise. So if you have 50% of your student population that are native Spanish speakers and 50% that are English speakers, then they end up learning from each other, right? And so you have all of your instruction in both English and Spanish, so your math, your reading, all your ELA, it's being delivered in both English and Spanish, so both populations of language learners are learning both models.
Thank you.
If you ever want to come check it out.
When you send out the information on how to register, can you include the availability on there as well for the pre-K?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, are you funded out of the general fund, or is there grants from somewhere that you use? What funds your operation?
Good question. So our staff is fully funded through our redevelopment agency set-aside dollars, and so we do get a certain portion of funding that comes from the redevelopment agency dollars. Right now, that's about 80% of our funding for all of our staff. We did get some ARPA funding when that was available a couple years ago to build 2 new mobile units. Each mobile unit is about $500,000 to build. But it's a one-time investment. The brick and mortar buildings that we've built have been anywhere from $5 to $12 million, and so just for a cost comparison. So we have gotten some ARPA dollars, and then we also do have a philanthropic arm, the Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life at the City of Las Vegas, and that does provide a little bit of funding every year for the Chromebooks. We get money for the back-to-school kits. We also do some multicultural kits for different cultural events throughout the year, and then we also do basic needs. So families need transportation, if they need winter. We find that the transition of seasons can be hard for families, and then you have kids stopping to come to school because they don't have a jacket or they don't have any pants. They're wearing shorts with their socks pulled up, and so we do get some philanthropic dollars for some of that basic needs.
Do you also receive, so since you're approved through the Charter Association, do you also get the per pupil spending that is allotted through the Charter Association?
Yeah, so the charter school is fully funded through the state public charter authority public per pupil funding, like you mentioned. The city does provide the facility, so there's no like rent or utility costs for the school to pay. So we pay and take care of the facility and maintain it. And then we do give them funding every year to make sure that their teachers are paid at or 5%, up to 5% above what CCSD is paying their teachers, to make sure that when you invest in quality teachers that they stay.
Thank you.
See nothing further. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I look forward to talking to you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Very good. Just a couple more things. Latoya, you want to talk about the landlord and tenant program?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Latoya Lewis. I'm the landlord liaison here at the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority, and I'm going to talk about the landlord partnership and program incentives. My landlord liaison goals are to build strong relationships with landlord and management companies. I collaborate with the landlords to bring on new units to our program. I educate the landlords on our processes and procedures, and I bridge the communication gap between the landlords and the housing authority. Advantages of partnering with SNRHA is guaranteed rent. The guaranteed rent is paid directly to the landlord via direct deposit on the first of every month. We advertise landlords' vacant units on our website. This allows for landlords to fill vacancies quickly and conveniently. Accountability, SNRHA staff help ensure tenants comply with lease obligations. Each household is assigned an occupational specialist who works directly with tenants, providing support to promote stability and successful tenancy for landlords. A few of our incentives are loss mitigation. Owners may receive up to $2,500 per family for damages beyond normal wear and tear after the damages are verified when the family vacates the unit. To qualify, owners must submit a claim within 45 days of the tenant vacating the unit, including supporting photos and receipts. This payment is contingent upon renting to another HCV voucher holder. We have dispersed a total of $45,266 as of July 31st, 2025. We also provide vacancy loss, which provides a maximum of $1,500 per unit if it takes longer than 30 days to repair a unit because of those excessive damages. Owners must commit to renting to another HCV voucher holder. We have dispersed $34,037 as of July 31st, 2025. Another incentive is our new unit bonus. SNRHA offers a financial reward to new and existing landlords for joining our program or bringing on existing landlords bringing on new units to the program. SNRHA will pay $500 for a landlord who rents a new unit for the first time, who's never participated in the program, or a landlord who have participated but have not participated in the last 3 years or more. As of July 31st, we have awarded $72,500, which represents a total of 145 new units and 75 new landlords. SNRHA has a dedicated liaison to assist landlords in accessing these incentives and to guide new landlords through the housing authority process. That's me, Latoya Lewis. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Yes. Okay. What would you say is like one of the attention grabbers? What is really making landlords want to like help us, want to house people and change people's lives? What is the thing? What are they looking for?
So I think now it's because of our culture change. A lot of landlords are contacting me to come onto the program. They get in contact with me, they want to help our participants, and they see that they have someone who's dedicated to talk to them and help them navigate through the processes now. And they have someone who they can contact when they have any questions without having to talk to 20, 30 people. Most of them can just contact me. So lately, when I get a lot of landlords who want to come onto the program, it's because they have someone that they can talk to now, and they have a liaison that they feel is there to help them navigate through the process and help them with the participants.
I'd like to echo that. Latoya hit it on the head. We have a different culture. Again, we're not perfect yet, But going back to the pillars, customer service, there was a time that we made it clear that the relationship between the landlord and the tenant was just that. You rent it to them, we pay you the HAP, you deal with those issues. Those days are long gone. We intimately get involved. We help landlord. Obviously, we're in the business of housing people, so we help landlords and participants navigate the process, and it's showing up. I remember, 2 years ago, we had over 400 landlords in this room, and staff said, why in the world would you go before them? Well, I needed to hear the truth, and the truth was we could do better, and we're doing better now. I wanted to remind the commissioners that this is funded, Commissioner Chair, you asked about those extra dollars. This is one of those pots that we use those extra dollars for. The board graciously approved, I think it was $225,000, $250,000 a couple of years ago. At some point in the near future, we'd like to expand who puts what in the pot, going out to the various jurisdictions and saying, can you help replenish this pot, because the landlords we're talking about are from all over southern Nevada. So we'll have some further conversations and recommendations on how the jurisdictions can help. Excuse me.
I just had something else. I don't know if even the commissioners here for the county can speak to this, but working with the real estate commission, working with those real estate that's the property management companies, because what I have found myself and others as residents, it is so difficult to meet these expectations of these property managers. There are thousands in the inventory, but it's only a few people really capable of meeting those expectations. And I don't know what kind of partnership or what we can do to communicate better with them, because the people that really invest in our communities need to know that they're changing people's lives, and if there is something that they can do to ease the suffering of the community. We have vacant homes no one can occupy because you made an astronomical price, and a lot of these places are already paid for.
So you say that's to them?
To us, how can you work with the real estate maybe commission, or talk to any of the property management, especially the bigger ones, that can kind of really help ease the burden, because to me they're perpetuating the problem.
Yeah, but it's not just for housing. The problem is for everyone, and it's not just housing. Because of fair housing, they have to abide by the same rules for our voucher holders that they do for someone who's not a voucher holder. So I'm not sure how we can, say, okay, voucher holders, this applies to them, and then this applies to them. It applies to everybody. So we can't ask them to, we can't ask them to change, the rules for voucher holders. It's for everyone, those rules. You have to make 2 times the rent. I know what you mean. Or the credit score has to be 700 or whatever the case may be. I get that all the time from voucher holders, and I have to explain to them that we don't have a special set of rules.
I was going to just add, explain to the audience, Latoya, how you spend your day, the kinds of meetings you go to, the people you're in front of almost daily.
Yeah, managers, we're in front of property management companies, I'm in front of private landlords, we're expressing, just to have them come aboard and accept the voucher. I'm in front of management companies, real estate, the real estate brokers, just asking them to, giving them our processes and procedures, and, just letting them know what I'm here doing, so that they're opening the vouchers to more owners. And, they're, like a lot of real estate brokers are now contacting me because they want to know our processes and procedures, and they know, and our payment standards are pretty competitive. So a lot of them do want to accept the voucher. So my job is I go out and I explain to them what we're doing and how we're changing the culture, and how we would love for them to open up more homes to voucher holders. But we can't ask them to change, what their criterias are.
And I think on the other side of the coin, we're working on participant behavior. We start doing things like financial literacy. It's a number of things we're doing to help people understand how they put themselves in that position when they go out and you have a 400 credit score and the thing. So it's a collective effort that the team is really working towards.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if somebody reaches out and says, I want to have somebody with a voucher, how do we connect somebody that has a voucher with somebody that wants somebody with a voucher?
So I list their unit on our landlord listing, which is located on our, because we don't steer, but I would advertise their unit for them on our landlord listing, which is located on our website and in our lobby in paper form. So that way, anyone who's interested in that property or any property, that it's easy for them to locate anyone who's accepting a voucher.
Okay. And then they can take the voucher and go over there and talk to the landlord?
Yes. Yep.
And you said we have at least 75 new landlords.
Yes.
Are we still looking for landlords?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What is our total population of landlords?
Over 3,000. So over
71.
3,000 landlords right now.
And what the program obviously does, it gives the participants choice. We get landlords in communities that historically haven't participate. There's our nexus between some of those communities and better schools, transportation, jobs, things of that nature.
I just have a comment to Commissioner Turner's concern about the landlords being more accepting and with their criteria. I think to address that, we need to just further push the FSS program.
Yeah.
And that will help our residents to gain good employment, build that credit score so that they meet that
That's what we're
criteria.
talking
Yes.
about. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And then we'll wrap it up. Paul, you want to talk about the meeting, or Karen, the PCC meeting this morning?
Karen Strong, for the record, Director of the Choice Neighborhood Initiative. So we had an amazing meeting this morning with partners, nonprofit partners and service providers from all over the town for the Marble Manor residents. The meeting was to create partnerships and really give our residents a path to be more successful, not just so, well, here's the 5 people you can reach out to, or here's the organization you can reach out to. But with the Choice Neighborhoods, we've committed to making sure that the residents, if they choose to, can go through a path step by step by step to change the trajectory of their lives, if they so choose, and the children who are in Marble Manor as well. So we had about 48 different partners, I believe, or 48 people attending, and they were all very excited at the end of the meeting and connecting with each other and connecting with us on how can we get involved and work with the Choice Neighborhood Program. So it was, and just to add, the Tiffany bags are not jewelry, sorry to say, but they are New Beginning polo shirts for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
All right, next item is consent agenda.
Move approval.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Cast your vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, then, Mr. Jordan, acknowledgement of the departed.
Yes. Since our last gathering, we've lost the following residents. Jerry Sipple, Brenda Douglas, Terry Woodruff, and Gabriella Douglas. Thank you.
All right, have a moment of silence for them. All right, thank you. Now we'll take executive office items, item 8.
Yes. Fred Herron will present this item.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Fred Herron, Chief Administrative Officer of the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority. This item is to approve the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority operating budget for fiscal year September 30th, 2026. Background, attached are copies of the FY 2026 operating budgets for the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority Conventional Low Rent Program, Central Office Cost Center, the Housing Choice Voucher, the Affordable Housing Program, and our Neighborhood Stabilization Program, as well as our HC grants, which consist of our CNI grant, our Ross grant, our FSS grant, and our FEX grant. This budget covers routine operating expenditures and receipts and expenditures, along with some non-routine expenditures. The board had been briefed during our commission briefing sessions, and upon approval, we would adopt the FY 2026 operating budget. If the board would like, I can give you a detailed version of what's going on, or I can give you a high level version of some of the major changes.
Let's start with the high level.
Okay. This operating budget consists of a net gain of $1.4 million in the fiscal 2026 budget. Is about $410,000 more than what was approved in this current fiscal revised budget. Don't you turn to that conclusion part for me. Some of the major items in this particular budget is for the housing program. We've overlaid over 200 vouchers on our non-federal project, which generated about $1.9 million to our non-federal affordable housing program. Those monies can be used to help support some other grants. In this particular budget, we're going to spend about $1.3 million to help support the Central Office Call Center, where we're going to transfer about $655,000, and our public housing program, where we're going to transfer about $660,000 to that program. Our public housing program, we're anticipating having a reduction in our operating subsidy proration from 98%, which we received this year, until about 91%, which is going to lose about $866,000 in the upcoming fiscal year. So the money that we've earned in our affordable housing program will be able to support our public housing program. Some of the other major changes in this budget, I am glad to say that during the legislative session, Assembly Bill 102, I think it was 102, allowed the housing authority to increase the board stipends from $80 up to $250. That's what the Senate bill allowed.
Let's have some more meetings.
But based on our operating budget, it was decided, Mr. Jordan, we decided that we can afford to increase it by 50%. So starting October 1, the commission checks would be $120 per meeting, up to 3 meetings, which would generate about $360 per meeting. We talked about the landlord incentive program. We utilized, over the last 2 years, we utilized about 200, as Latoya explained briefly, we utilized about $201,000 out of the $250,000 over the last 2 years. In this budget, we've increased that amount by another $50,000, so that we have $100,000 in the upcoming fiscal year, which should get us through to 2027. As Mr. Jordan stated, we will probably bring in some official documents trying to ask some of the jurisdiction to kind of see if they have some funds to kind of contribute to this program as well. Some of the other changes in our operating budget, our housing choice voucher program, which is our largest program. We anticipate having a $431,000 net income at the end of this fiscal year. And our HCY annual budget, which includes all of our grants, we have an approximately $257,272,000, an increase from the $255,995,000 that was approved in the revised 2025 budget. If any commissioners have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. I know there was some comment from Commissioner Bruni and Commissioner Turner as well in terms of, some of the cuts that's going to be laid down from the Big B bill, and how would that affect our agency. As of today, we haven't received any information in terms of our funding shortfalls. I think the shortfalls that we project in this budget is based on what we've been hearing around from some of our housing advocate groups. I don't anticipate, this 2026 bill having a devastating effect on our program with the increase, particularly with the increase in, the project-based vouchers that we've overlaid this year. And we also plan on overlay another 50 units at one of our other sites, which should generate a little over $1 million to the affordable housing program, along with the $190,000 that we're going to receive from interest income off being the lien holder of the Juan Garcia note. So that should put us in a pretty good position to not only cover some of our expenditure shortfalls and some of our other programs, but also provide some of the additional revenue streams that we're going to use to buy other properties. We got a couple of things on the table that we probably be presenting at the strategy meeting at the board retreat, some of the strategies that we're planning to do to try to increase some of our revenue streams. So, but if you have any questions, I'll be able to answer them.
So I know that we're planning to lose the emergency vouchers. Was that just a statement that we heard about, or was that an official?
No, that's happening.
official.
Is that the end of this year or the next year?
It's this year. So we're not going to lose the vouchers. We just got to convert the vouchers into our housing choice portfolio. So there won't be emergency housing vouchers anymore. So we won't get any additional funding, but we will use our current funding to support those vouchers.
And that has to be done by the 1st of October or by the end of September?
I believe it was by the end of the year. We wanted to goals to have it by October 1, but I believe that has been changed to the end of the fiscal year.
Hey, Cheryl's here from HUD.
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah.
It has to be done by the end of next year. And I think to your point, Commissioner, it's prohibiting us from issuing project-based vouchers.
We have to do that. So when you say end of next year, you're talking about the end of the fiscal year? So our end of September of 2026? Okay. All right, thank you.
And I also wanted, just for the record, Fred, can you go over, I think through the enthusiasm, we may have said a number wrong, but the whole stipend piece, can you just go over that again?
So
say what the new stipend number is?
Starting October 1, the Board of Commissioners, instead of receiving the $80 that you receive per meeting, you receive $120 per meeting. And when we have multiple meetings, like we had one today, you receive the $240. So,
Is there a maximum on the meetings we'll have?
maximum of 3 meetings per month. No, the maximum of 3 payments a month. We may have more meetings, particularly when we get to November, when we're going over our RAD budgets. We generally have about 8 or 9 meetings, separate meetings on our LLCs. But the maximum we receive is this for 3 meetings.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have a question? Yes.
Oh, yes. I wanted to find out about the emergency vouchers, since you did add that component. How many of those do we have? When they go, they get, what's that, absorbed? We turn them into regular vouchers. How many families does that
I think
help?
it was like 460, 62.
Or something like that.
467?
So we have 467 vouchers
Yes.
to utilize.
Well, we already utilize them.
Oh, they already
But we're
used
not, the issue, we're going to get funding, separate funding for those vouchers. Now that funding is going to go away, so we need to incorporate those vouchers into our regular pool. Absorb them. Any other questions?
So Rosa has a work cut out for her. All right. So do we need to make a motion to approve the budget?
Need a motion.
All right, do we have a motion?
Move approval.
There's a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion has passed.
Thank you, Fred. We have one more item?
All right, so item 9. This is Frank.
Good afternoon, Frank Stafford, Director of Development Organization. Before I get started, I just want to acknowledge Quincy and Natasha Reddick, who are the owners of KBR, this item. And I do that because I thought they would have left already. They have a plane to catch, and I know they need to get out of here pretty quick, but their estimator is here as well.
All right, we called the airport and told them to hold that plane.
So this item is to approve to award the firm fixed contract to KBR Roofing Services for roof replacement services of Simmons Manor Housing Development at 5385 Austin John Court, Las Vegas, Nevada 891122. Background, the Modernization Development Department requests approval to award the contract for the above noted services pursuant to invitation to bid IFB 25026 for a period of 90 days and not to exceed amount of $423,330. There is a Section 3 component to this contract that's pursuant to 24 CFR Part 135, of which KBR Roofing Services is aware of and will comply with requirements as reported and opportunities become available. Quincy or Natasha Reddick of KBR Roofing or representatives present to answer any question the board may have. Action requested, Executive Director is requesting Board of Commissioners review, approve, and award a contract number C25026, IFB 25026 to KBR Roofing Services for roof replacement services at Simmons Manor Housing Development at 5385 Austin John Court, Las Vegas, Nevada 89122, and they are not to exceed amount of $423,330 for an estimated total contract time of 90 calendar days.
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
There's a motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you. Catch that plane. All right, Section 6, new business items. Anyone have new business? Yes.
This is not new business, but I did see a correction that needed to be made with the minutes for today. It should read the meeting for July 17th. It reads July 12th.
Approval of the last minutes. I think it says June 12th on the packet.
Approval of the regular board meetings on June the 12th. It should be July 17th.
Yeah, it was July 17th.
Not that I'm aware of. But July 17th is when we had our regular board meeting.
You're correct. Thank you so much for that change. All right, see no other new business, we'll end the meeting and call for public comment. Anyone here wishing to make a public comment? Please come forward.
John Johnson for the record. I'm currently a HVC public voucher holder, and I submitted a rent verification change. So I am the executive director and board president of a local nonprofit here. When we have funding, then I pay myself a salary through a payroll company, and when I get that salary, I do the income verification or whatever for my income. So I did that when I got the employment, and then when we stopped getting funding, I stopped paying myself. So I put in the verification to say that I'm not working anymore. The worker called me, said that I needed a letter, so I am the executive director and the board president, so I wrote a letter saying, hey, I'm no longer paying myself for this salary. He called me back, said that the supervisor wanted a written statement, sworn statement, excuse me. So they wanted a sworn statement and they wanted copies of our nonprofit bank statement. I let him know that you guys are not getting my nonprofit bank statements. That's private information. That's not open up to the public. He told me to put all that into my sworn statement and turn it in. I did all that. I turned it in, I want to say, last month on the 22nd. Somebody from the supervisor, his supervisor, she calls me and she asked me, questions. She was like, why did you sign? I said, I'm the chairman. So she was like, oh, we're supposed to take your word that you're not getting paid? Yes, you're supposed to take my word. I'm telling you, I'm the chairman. If you go to the Secretary of State office, you'll see all that information. Today is the 21st. Tomorrow will be 30 days. I still haven't heard anything. I reached out to my worker, and he said he turned in all the paperwork or whatever to the higher-ups, and I haven't heard anything. Are they going to accept it? Are they not going to accept it? Do you guys need another board member to sign the documentation or write the statement? There hasn't been any conclusion, and again, tomorrow is going to be 30 days. So I'm coming up here trying to get a resolution, so when next month come around, I don't have to pay $1,300 on rent when I'm not making that money. So thank you, and I appreciate somebody helping me with my situation.
How long have we known each other and been working together?
I met you when I moved out here in 2012.
Yeah, so I can vouch for him. Anyway, Mr. Jordan, can we have somebody talk to him and try to verify this?
Right away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
All right, we have a card from Mame Lincoln.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is my second time being here. I was here last month. I had a situation with the dog, between the dog and the manager. And upon leaving, I was able to talk to my manager's supervisor. And it's all gone downhill from there. Okay, I have not heard anything from anyone. And I think the problem that I'm having right now is, when did the housing authority get to the point where you have managers who don't get back to you, where you hear absolutely nothing? And then they call you and they tell you these little fibs. Nobody calls back. Nobody gives you a resolution. Now, I'm on my third time with this dog problem, right? I have one more time and then I have to go to court. I spoke to Miss Kathy this morning, and like I told her, I'd rather resolve it with the manager, which is Sonia Freeman's manager, or Patricia Stevens, either one, rather than going to court. So I just need some help. And so I will say this to you, Mr. Jordan, because I have gone the steps. I've gone to manager after manager after manager. I'm not getting no help. I have over 47 videos in my phone and over 200 pictures of this dog. I can't even go in my backyard because the dog jumps the fence. And I don't understand why I cannot get any help. So I'm asking you, Mr. Jordan, as the last one up the totem pole, please help me with this. And if you guys would just come out and look and see what this dog has done, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying, because he will scare you to death. This dog is a pit bull mixture. He weighs almost 100 pounds. I watched the dog eat up a little dog next door. I am 80 years old. I cannot continue this day in and day out. And it doesn't make sense when you can't get any help. So I'm asking somebody to please help me resolve this issue.
All right, could you speak to the gentleman in the blue right there? Make sure we get your address and then talk to Mr. Jordan too.
And I also wanted to add, Mr. Chairman, there's no excusable reason for you not to have been contacted.
Thank you.
We'll deal with this.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, anyone else here for public comment? Seeing no one, we'll close the public comment and adjourn. Thank you so much.